Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to my YouTube channel. I am here today to give you a mighty review of Metro Exodus. Going to talk here a little bit about the game. Going to try not to spoil too much in case not everybody's gotten a chance to play the game or play the DLCs as of yet. So let's cover a couple things here. To start with, the returning developer is 4A Games. They did all the previous installments of the Metro series. And it's actually kind of nice that they've kind of expanded into this is more of a sort of open world ish type of game. It's not quite open world, but it is much different than the previous installments of Metro, but still keeping the same general feel of the Metro series. The publisher, once again, is Deep Silver. They are the ones that published the original Metro Last Light, as well as the Redux of Metro 2033 Redux and Metro Last Light Redux. It was released for Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, February 15th, 2019. Now, I am getting a little slow here on doing this. It's kind of one of those things. I got the game, didn't play it for a long time, finally got around to playing the game. Got the two kernels, played that, and then I just kind of sit back and waited until I got a chance to play Sam's Story, since that was soon coming around the bend. So here we are, finally going to stop procrastinating and give you this review. It is a first-person shooter with survival horror and stealth elements in the game. The stealth mechanics definitely makes the game a little bit more interesting, but at times can make the game a bit tedious, especially once you get towards the middle, towards the end of the game. It seems like basically everything is built around stealth, so it can be kind of a nuisance. Obviously, Metro Exodus is the third game in the series, and it is set after the events of Metro Last Light. Generally, it is based around the idea of leaving the Metro system. I'm pretty sure with the title Exodus, that is self-explanatory. No spoiler alerts there. That being said, as said a bit ago, the game kind of starts off with the typical linear. You're in the subway system, the metro system, if you will, of Russia, and then it expands out into a more open world-ish setting. It's not quite fully open world, but if you play the game, you'll kind of understand. It's more like it's sort of like how the Outer Worlds is as well, where it's kind of like a hub section. There's different sections, and then each section individually kind of has an open world feel to it. Kind of tough to explain because it's not open world, but it's not linear either, like the other Metro games. However, the game does end more linear, like your typical Metro games. It is story driven, just like all the others. It's not multiplayer. There's no online mode that I'm aware of, unless maybe there's a mod for one or something of that nature. All right, so we'll cover now the two kernels. The two kernels covers the story of Kirill's father, Colonel, and bear with me because I don't speak Russian, Kilib Nikov, on his mission to find the satellite map needed to leave the Novosibirsk metro system. And I probably pronounced that wrong. I probably really butchered. I'm sure I butchered that. But it's that part of the game, the two kernels DLC. It's more linear. Feels a lot more like your typical Metro game. It's very story driven compared to even the other Metro games. It's kind of a short section, but I actually did find the game, and particularly the story to this, very enjoyable. And honestly, I felt the story to the two kernels was actually probably the best part so far of all Metro Exodus combined, in all honesty. Even though it was kind of short, I quite enjoyed it. Now we're going to cover Sam's story here. Sam's story covers after things being settled at Lake Baikal. Sam is a former U.S. Marine trying to return home. He was actually stationed at an embassy in Russia when the bombs dropped, and he made his way to the metro system, and he would actually become one of the Spartans. And actually, what you're seeing here is actually replay footage of different parts from Sam's story. Sam's story is a quite meaty DLC. There's a lot to it, not as much as Metro in itself. It is pretty good. I did enjoy it quite a bit. And Sam's story also introduces two new weapons, which one's an assault rifle, and the other one is a 45 caliber pistol, which I quite enjoyed very much. Reminded me of running around with like a Colt or a Colt 1911 or a Kimber Warrior. You know, one of those type of handguns. Really liked it. Was a lot of fun to play with. So generally, my overall opinion of Metro Exodus, I've kind of wrapped the DLCs in with the whole experience and my opinions about it. The parts I liked was the story. The game is story driven. The story did keep me very intrigued with the game, and that's actually pretty much what's going to keep, I think, people generally wrapped up in the game. Probably more than anything else, even though the gameplay is not bad, especially when it comes to the shooting mechanics. Although it is a first-person shooter, I would expect decent shooting mechanics, although there are arcadey shooting mechanics. So if you're looking for something like the Escape from Tarkov experience, where it's very realistic, you're not going to get that here, but you're still going to get pretty good shooting mechanics. The sounds were very good. I like the weapons. I like it when you stomp through mud and stomp through dirt. You're stepping on concrete. You can hear these different kinds of sounds. I like the sounds that the monsters, the creatures make. Things of that nature, although there is a couple shortcomings with the sounds, and I'll get to that in a bit. With the core game, the more open world experience, as well as with Sam's story. However, it also gave you the taste of your typical Metro games, where it would be more linear and you're dealing with the Metro systems in itself, especially with the two kernels, but even with the core game towards the beginning and towards the end of the game. I actually did enjoy that. The graphics of the game I felt was really good, even though right now you're actually viewing this on medium graphics. I can actually tune it up a bit higher, but I kind of like to keep things a little toned down for when I'm doing streaming and video recording, so it's just less stress on the old video card. And the game does have RTX, and the RTX looks amazing. This would be actually one of the first games to feature the RTX settings, and it's got some very advanced RTX settings. And I can dive more into that. But essentially, to play this with RTX, you're actually going to want a NVIDIA RTX graphics card. You don't want to use a patched GTX card. Returning characters plus some new ones, which also helped kept the story going and kept the story interesting. And there was points where in the story you didn't feel like you were the only person doing anything. Colonel Miller would give some of the other Spartans tasks to do that they would have to do, and sometimes you would have to help them. The atmosphere of the game, it's a Metro game, and it feels like a Metro game. Even the open world sections, it has that look and feel of being a Metro game, even though it's more open world compared to your typical stuck in the Metro system. So that gives a good general feel of the game. And I like the weapon and equipment modding. You can mod your weapons to do different things. You can equip different types of gear, such as you can have use better night vision goggles. You could have an improved recharge system, or sorry, improved battery, I believe. Or you could have a brighter flashlight. You could have a more armored gas mask, or you could even set your gas mask up to have a longer longer gap between filter changes, things of that nature. I generally did like that stuff. Now, dislikes, and I'm going to cover a few here. The first one I'm going to cover is graphic glitches. These are simple glitches. I was seeing various types of glitches where I could actually see through certain walls if I was, looking at the wall a certain way, or if I was up really close against the wall. Doors as well. Sometimes when you knock out enemies, using the stealth mechanic. An enemy would fall into a wall and literally get stuck in the wall. Also, you'd have enemies that either you killed them or knocked them out, and they would just lie there on the ground twitching like they were having seizures. I would think by this point, a lot of graphic glitches like that you wouldn't really see anymore, especially in AAA titles, but apparently I'm wrong and you're still seeing them. Some sound glitches I noticed. I'm not sure if there's so much sound glitches or if the sound is just weak in certain areas. Maybe it's particularly how I have my sound system set up, but sometimes I had problems hearing stuff behind me. Now, this was also a concern that had come up previously with the Metro Redux games. Now, in this game, it wasn't like previous with the Metro Redux games, where I couldn't hear anything behind me at all. Here I could still hear stuff behind me, but sometimes it would just sound like they were so far away and they were literally right behind me. And there'd be cases of that as well as with opponents in front of me. Sometimes they'd be talking or something like that, and it's like, yeah, that guy's got to be like, 3 rooms down, and you go to turn a corner and he's right there in your face, So sometimes the sound distortion of distance was very hard to judge. The next one I'm going to cover is the AK-47. This one drove me the most batshit crazy. The AK-47 was so unreliable, and I wish there was a mod or something for that, because it just seemed like the AK-47 in this game was just constantly jamming, and that was even after you had it fully upgraded with the dust cover and the whole 9 yards. It just seemed like I was constantly cleaning that weapon. But then you'd have like the shotgun, that the thing could be the most filthy gun in your arsenal, and it never failed, which is fairly realistic. I wouldn't say it's perfectly realistic, but double barrel shotguns don't fail all that often. At times the AI can be extremely stupid, but at times the AI can be extremely smart. It's really weird. It felt like there was no consistency in the AI. I'm not sure why that was the case, but it is what it is, and sometimes I could take advantage of that. So I'll put that out there right now, and that is something you can pick up as you play through the game. It is on Steam and Epic Games. This is the PC version. The standard edition is $39.99. It's actually not bad, and I quite enjoy the game, and I would say it's worth it. Well, standard edition, not so much. I want to dive into that a bit more here. The gold edition, and this is what you would probably want to get if you don't have Metro Exodus at all, and you're interested in getting Metro Exodus. It is $64.98 on Steam and Epic Games both, and this also includes the 2 DLCs. Sam's Story is $17.99. That's the newest DLC. That, like I said, just came out a month ago. And then the 2 Kernels is $7.99, and that came out a while ago. That came out about 8 months ago or so. I could not find an exact date on when the 2 Kernels came out, but I know it's been a bit. And then there's also the expansion pass, which includes both DLCs for $24.99. This is probably what you would want to get if you only have the standard game and you want to get both DLCs. But so yeah, there you go. My general opinion of Metro Exodus is it was quite enjoyable. Is this my favorite Metro game? No, that still goes to Metro 2033 Redux. However, this is a damn close number 2, and there's certain moments that just makes me want this game to be my favorite of the Metro games. But I don't know what it is. There's just something about the original Metro game that Metro Exodus just doesn't have. Can't explain it. Really enjoyable experience, and I definitely do recommend this game. Anyway, folks, went a little long here, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy the video. And hopefully I will see you again for my next video.